For a while now, ChatGPT has pretty much been the one to beat when it comes to AI image generation. But there's a new challenger from Google stepping into the ring, and it has a very strange name, Nano Banana. So, in this AI showdown, who's going to come out on top? Let's get into it.
The folks over at TechRadar spent a weekend putting these two tools through their paces, a real head-to-head battle. So the big question we're digging into is pretty simple. Does this new AI, Nano Banana, actually have what it takes to dethrone the king?
First things first, what on earth is Nano Banana? No, it's not some new health food trend. It was actually the secret code name for Google's Gemini 2.5 Flash model while it was being tested. And you know how it is in the tech world with these quirky names. It just stuck.
Okay, so to figure out who wins, we're putting these AIs through 3 distinct rounds. Round 1 is all about character consistency. Round 2 will test pure realism. And for the final round, we're looking at image fusion. Let's see who throws the first punch.
So our first challenge is a classic problem for AI, character consistency. Basically, can an AI create a unique character and then actually remember what that character looks like in the next image you ask for? It sounds so simple, but trust me, it's incredibly difficult for these models.
Both AIs were given this very fun but also very specific prompt. The goal here wasn't just to make any old cat, but a specific character with a helmet that was supposed to be historically accurate.
And here is the real test, the follow-up. This required the AI to do 2 things. Pop the cat into a brand new setting, sure, but way more importantly, it had to remember the exact cat and the specific helmet it had just created.
And wow, the difference in the results was just night and day. Nano Banana gave us this bright, clear image, and when that cat moved to the Colosseum, it was the exact same cat, same helmet. Perfect. ChatGPT, not so much. It started off with a kind of a wonky helmet, and then in the next shot, it just gave the cat a completely different one. So, round 1 definitely goes to Nano Banana.
For round 2, we're testing something that is a huge deal for a lot of us, photorealism. How well can these AIs take a real photo of a person and drop them into a completely new scene and make it look believable?
So for this one, the tester uploaded their own profile picture with a super simple command, put me on a mountain. The goal wasn't just a bad copy-paste job. The AI really had to make it look like they were actually there.
The results were pretty striking. Gemini's Nano Banana produced an image that genuinely looked like the author, just, chilling on a mountain. ChatGPT, on the other hand, well, it created what the author called an AI approximation, which is a nice way of saying it kind of changed their features and just looked a lot less real.
And it wasn't just that ChatGPT's version looked artificial. As the author pretty hilariously pointed out, the AI's interpretation also clearly added a few pounds. I mean, when you're trying to create a realistic portrait of yourself, that's not exactly a detail you're hoping for.
Okay, for our final round, we're testing something a little more technical, image fusion. This is all about combining 2 different images while following a very, very specific rule. It's a test of both creativity and, maybe more importantly, precision.
So, the challenge here was to merge 2 photos, one of the author and one of some new fence panels. But here's the crucial instruction, the non-negotiable part. The background had to stay exactly the same. The AI's only job was to add the person into that scene without messing with anything else. And, well, the result was a clean sweep. Nano Banana followed the instructions to the letter, inserting a realistic image of the author while keeping the background identical. ChatGPT? It not only changed the background, but it created a version of the person that looked, and I'm quoting here, obviously made by AI.
So after 3 rounds, the winner seems pretty obvious, right? But it wasn't just about how good the pictures looked. There was one final factor that really, truly sealed the deal for Nano Banana. The big difference maker wasn't just the quality, it was the speed. Think about it. How long do you have to wait for your image? Because when you're in a creative flow, that wait time can totally make or break the whole experience. For Gemini's Nano Banana, the average wait was just 10 seconds. From typing a prompt to seeing a finished image, 10 seconds. That is incredibly fast.
And ChatGPT, it could take up to a full minute. Now, 1 minute might not sound like a lot, but when you're trying out different ideas one after another, that 50-second difference feels like an absolute eternity. It's a massive, massive difference in just how usable it is. So, after 3 rounds and a knockout on speed, the verdict is in. The author of this hands-on test came to a very, very clear conclusion.
And the winner is Gemini's Nano Banana. Look, for the everyday user, for most of us who just want to create realistic images quickly and without a lot of fuss, it's the new top choice. It's faster, it's better at realism and consistency, and it's free. Now, of course, for professionals who are looking for the absolute highest artistic quality, tools like Midjourney are still the king. But for the rest of us, it looks like Google has a new champion.
This whole showdown leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As these AI tools get closer and closer to perfect photorealism, what are we actually going to value more? The flawless, perfect copy of our instructions, or the slightly flawed, sometimes wonky, but maybe more creative interpretation? It's definitely something to chew on.